We're about to hear the words that start. Oh, there they are. Yes, the voice was one you may have recognized, that of Tony Holman, owner of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But this is September, not May, and the track is of dirt, not of pavement. And the distance around it is 1 mile, not 2.5. We are in Indianapolis, however, live, coming to you live and in color on Wide World of Sports today for the Hoosier 100. The drivers, however, are basically the same field that you saw at Indianapolis. Last year's Indianapolis 500 winner, Mario Andretti, is here, and the famous A.J. Foyt, who has won this particular race an unbelievable 6 times. Jimmy McElreath, and there is the man who's going to be seated on the pole. That's Johnny Parsons, Jr., a surprise winner of the pole position here, son of a former Indianapolis 500 and USAC national champion. Alongside him will be another surprise, number 77, Sam Sessions. However, as we say, all of the big names are also on hand, from A.J. Foyt and Mario Andretti to Jimmy McElreath, who surprisingly won the big race, Ontario, California, at the new track out there last weekend. Good afternoon. I'm Jim McKay, and it should be quite a day. As I said, all this is coming to you right at those. We're back again live at the Indiana State Fairgrounds on the pace laps preceding our coverage of the Hoosier 100. A top field of drivers, and let's start running down those first rows for you. On the pole, as we said, surprisingly, number 39 will be Johnny Parsons, Jr., a former Los Angeles policeman who said, gee, that wasn't quite the thing he had in mind. He'd rather do what his dad did before him, drive race cars. Next to him will be the 35-year-old veteran Sammy Sessions, a versatile man at all divisions of USAC driving. On the second row, number 98 there is Bruce Walkup in J.C. Agajanian's familiar number 98. And next to him, the 6-time winner of this race, but racing in bad luck since this race last year. In fact, this was the last race he won, A.J. Foyt in car number 7. In the third row, another surprise, number 52 on the inside is Bob Harkey. And next to him, number 2, Al Unser, the winner of this year's Indianapolis 500 and the hotshot of the USAC Tour. They're going to give them one more lap. In the fourth row will be number 19, Bill Puterbaugh, and number 58, Ralph Ligori. In the fifth row, 41 will be Greg Weld, and 94, Bentley Warren. Then comes the sixth row, number 12, Will Cagle in the car ordinarily driven by Lloyd Ruby, and number 9, Mike Mosley. In the seventh row, 2 of the stars of the United States Auto Club racing circuit. Jim McElreath, who just last weekend won the first running of the California 500 at the new Ontario, California track out there. Number 14, Jim McElreath, and right next to him, the reigning USAC national champion, Mario Andretti, in car number 1. In the next row, number 31 is Jimmy Malloy, number 24, George Snyder, and in the final row, number 82, Carl Williams, and number 70, Jerry Pound. To give you an idea of the competitiveness of qualifying here today, the former Indianapolis 500 winner, Bobby Unser, was not able to qualify. Neither was Wally Dallenbach, who actually had good enough time to qualify, but then his car ran into trouble. Gary Bettenhausen didn't make it, nor did Johnny Rutherford, who was on the first row at Indianapolis this year, or Larry Dixon, or Arnie Knepper, who had a slight accident. But now we're standing by, hoping for the green flag. It's going to be quite an afternoon on ABC Sports. Stanford and Arkansas coming up after this, except in California, the green flag is out there racing. Into the first turn it goes Sam Sessions, trying to get out in front of Johnny Parsons. But Parsons holds on down in the low groove. Sessions trying to move on the outside to take the lead quickly. They're side by side. A.J. Foyt is right behind them, though. It's Sammy Sessions taking the lead, and here comes A.J. Foyt, blasting past Johnny Parsons. And so it's Sam Sessions and A.J. Foyt. A.J., remember, 6-time winner of this race, won this race last year and hasn't won a race since. It's been a very tough year for A.J., both personally and professionally. But right now he's chasing Sammy Sessions. 1 lap goes by of the 100 schedule. A.J. going low and not, being shut off by Sammy Sessions very effectively. With me in the booth is our constant companion on these racing telecasts, the editor of National Speed Sport News, Chrissy Katamaki, and watch A.J., Chris. Looks like he's got him.
And that Ford engine car zoomed right by the Omnium Sessions. Sessions got this ride, Jim. Moments before qualifying started, when the car's regular driver, Toby Tobias, could not compete because of an injury sustained in a sprint race last night in Eldora, Ohio. And now A.J., winner here last year, amid the cheers of the fans, has taken the lead.
So it's the veteran star, A.J. Foyt, the six-time winner, and Sammy Sessions, the man who shouldn't have been here today, battling for the lead. In third place is Johnny Parsons, and in fourth place, Bruce Walkup right now in car number 98.
Bob Harkey lies fifth in the number 52 Opry. Mario Andretti started deep in the field, 14th, and is trying hard to move up, Jim, to catch the leaders. But A.J. Foyt has got this track figured out, and it's different than last year's Hoosier 100 in that the drivers are riding it low in the corners early in the going. It means that the cushion is not here for the beginning of the race.
Well, it's still A.J. taking that low groove. The track's not as fast as it was last year either. Qualifying times were slow, as well as somewhat erratic. There is A.J. Foyt out in front, and there is Mario Andretti still lagging back in 14th position. And there you see the relationship between them. Mario with a long way to go before he can catch up with A.J. and have a battle like they had here for quite a while last year.
Mario is still in 14th position, Jim. He moved up a couple of spots in the early going, back by the other competitors, so he's exactly where he started.
Okay, remember, Johnny Parsons is third and Bruce Walkup is fourth. There's a look from our overhead crane camera. That gives you a beautiful view of exactly how they slide those cars through turns 1 and 2. Number 52, Bob Harkey, is in fifth place, and right with him now is Al Unser, this year's winner of the Indianapolis 500. And back in the pack, Andretti has passed one car, so call him 13th now instead of 14th. We'll keep an eye on Andretti and on Al Unser as they try to move up and challenge Foyt.
Very competitive field, Jim. The fastest qualifier was only 1 11/100ths of a second faster than the slowest qualifier, 18 positions back.
Okay, well, Al Unser is in fifth place right now. There is Al Unser as you see him beginning to make his move. In fifth place, and he's moving up on Bruce Walkup in car number 98. As a matter of fact, he's now taken fourth place, and there he goes past Walkup. Not quite. He's still fifth. Walkup and Al Unser dueling right now as they come through turns 3 and 4. Unser won the dirt track race at Des Moines, Illinois on Labor Day this week. And now he's made that pass of Bruce Walkup. So he moves into fourth position as Al Unser. A.J. Foyt still out in front, about 150 yards ahead of Unser now. And in between them are Sammy Sessions, number 77, and Johnny Parsons Jr. in number 39.
Parsons' car is powered by a Chevrolet engine, and it was quite an achievement for a stock block car to out-qualify such a potent field, Jim.
Okay, and there you saw the relationship, and now we pan back to show the relationship from first to Al Unser. You can see how far these two cars are apart. Al Unser just about ready to make another pass. He's going past Johnny Parsons Jr., or is going to try to. He won't do it on turn 1. However, he's just a couple of feet behind him. Let's see what the action is on the straightaway. Al Unser, leading for the USAC Championship. Winner of so many races this year. Going after Parsons this time. Into turn 3. He almost had him, but not quite. The side-by-side. See if he can get him coming out of 4. That's where he made a pass on the last lap.
So bet that Johnny Parsons' dad, Johnny Parsons Sr., is watching with interest out in California. He won the 1950 Indianapolis 500. It was in the very first Hoosier 100 here, Jim, 18 years ago.
And now Al Unser is third. Just 2 more cars to go. The only cars in front of him are A.J. Foyt, the leader, and Sammy Sessions in second place. Parsons still hanging close on his tail, but Unser is really moving. In the Johnny Lightning Special, this fantastically well-prepared car of Parnelli Jones. Again, the relationship. You can see that he's getting closer to the leader. He's not only passing cars, but he is actually getting closer to A.J. Foyt.
You would think, Jim, that Unser would have lost a little of his competitive urge by now. He has already banked more than $350,000 in prize money this year.
Well, he had a little trouble qualifying today. He went out fairly early in the qualifying. Had trouble with his car, had to come back in and be the last man to try to qualify. Still was able to move it up pretty well in the field. And now is passing cars with great regularity. However,
and he's really fitted to it. He knows every trick about it. Well, let's watch Al Unser now, this year's Indianapolis winner, trying to get by Sammy Sessions from Nashville, Michigan, and there he tries now on the inside going into turn 1. But
okay, didn't get him that time. Still setting up, and Sam Sessions knows he's got something terrible on his tail in the person of Al Unser and that well-prepared racing car. This is just the beginning, except in California, the long afternoon on ABC Sports, and there goes Al, right past Sammy Sessions, taking over second place in the race. Remember, he started in 6th position, has now passed everybody except A.J. Foyt. Except in California, I started to say this is just the beginning of a long afternoon of live sports on ABC. Coming up, the first NCAA college football game of the year. Stanford against Arkansas in Little Rock, Arkansas. So stick around, get comfortable, and enjoy yourself for the next several hours.
Well, Poland, Jim, in number 70 is out of the race with a split fuel tank, and Bob Harkey, in number 52, is suffering from a stuck throttle. He's been in and out of the pits in this Hoosier 100, the richest dirt track race in the world, and for many years, the second richest race on the USAC Championship Trail. 100 times around with a checkered flag here at the Indiana State Fairgrounds, which today, incidentally, has the people spread throughout the infield and in bleachers on the backstretch and in the turns because the main grandstand has been condemned. And there are no spectators in the back half of this gigantic covered main grandstand. It is empty near the top and a strange sight to see.
Okay, we're out on the track. It's a very exciting sight right now. From the low camera, you just saw Al Unser go through frame ahead of Sam Sessions and now taking out after A.J. Foyt. 21 laps have gone by. Remember, it's a scheduled 100, and now the sun has come out very bright. This is the way it was earlier today. Then it clouded up, and there was a report of rain about 20 miles from here, but it looks like we're going to be all right. No repeat of Springfield, Illinois a few weeks ago.
Let's hope not, Jim. The sun, of course, is a welcome sight, but it is baking the track and making it even slipperier, which makes it more difficult to be competitive.
Andretti is now 6th. A.J. Foyt the leader. And there is Andretti passing another car and going into 5th place. So we'll keep an eye on him. The reigning USAC national champion in car number 1, Mario Andretti of Nazareth, Pennsylvania, the Italian-born, very personal racing star.
That was Bruce Walkup he got by, Jim, in the Negagenia number 98. A yellow flag, if it should come, would tighten up this field and really set the stage for some tremendously exciting racing. But the interval between the leader and Mario is quite large at this point.
Mario Andretti in 5th position, remember. And lots of watermelon in the pits. It's September in Indiana. A nice warm, either, well, call it a late summer or an early autumn day. Take your pick. Technically, it's still late summer, but you can...
11 Oppenhausers, 4 Chevrolet engine cars, 3 Fords, 2 of which are double overhead cam jobs, the Unser and Foyt machines, and the 1 Gurney Eagle model in the Andretti car. And the mechanics are going to work now on the car to see just what they can do, and the Federal Engineering team from Detroit.
But Jimmy Malloy is losing. Who's in front of him? Oh, Ralph LaFleur.
Oldest friend.
We're back again live at the Hoosier 100 automobile race in Indianapolis, Indiana. This is Jim McKay, and that you're watching is Mario Andretti. He started 14th on the starting lineup. He is now chasing Ralph Liguori, trying to move into 4th place. Number 58 is Ralph Liguori, a veteran who has never won a race on the championship trail. And there is Andretti after him, going through turn 1. We're on lap 39, a scheduled 100. There have been no yellow flags and no accidents, although a number of cars have dropped out of the competition.
Bill Peterball, number 19, drove off the middle of the backstretch with his engine giving trouble in the same place he went off last year. Jim, Mario Andretti is faced with a tough decision. He doesn't know about 1971, whether to continue this kind of racing where he excels in almost every kind of track, dirt track, road course, high bank, speedway, or flat pavement, or go racing in Europe in international Formula One. But while he makes up his mind, he's putting on a great show here, trying to get by Ralph Liguori at number 58.
Well, he is. He still hasn't been able to do it. Andretti, by the way, is in a very new car. In fact, the first race that this dirt track car was in was at Springfield, Illinois a few weeks ago, and it didn't do very well, broke down. It has a Gurney Eagle engine in it, unlike all the other cars in the race. It's very different, and it's taken a little while to shake it down, but today it's going very well as he still chases Ralph Liguori, trying to move into 4th. Remember, he is still a good almost half of the racetrack, a third of the racetrack behind the leader, A.J. Foyt. Hudson's a long way to go.
Ralph Liguori's at his best on a dirt track, Jim. He's from Tampa, Florida, and he's a veteran campaigner. He's the oldest driver in the competition, incidentally, at 43 years of age, and has a lot of experience under that helmet of his. We'll see whether Mario, in his early 30s and America's greatest new racing talent, can get by, and he tries down the inside, but has to shut off going into the slippery third turn.
This was a race that started with a couple of surprise people on the first row in the persons of Johnny Parsons Jr. and Sammy Sessions. And there goes Mario Andretti. He's got Ralph Liguori this time. Mario Andretti has moved into 4th place in this race. 2/5 of the race has gone by. The leader, remember, is A.J. Foyt. I started to say...
A.J. is being held up in traffic, and Al Unser's closing very closely behind him.
Well, he sure is. We're getting a lap time on the leader, but what's the second place car? He's making a move right now. Moving around a slower car, Bob Harkey. He tried to sneak past A.J. Foyt and Al Unser, and he almost did it. He almost did it. But now he's dropped back a matter of 50 feet behind the leader again. This is real good racing in Indianapolis.
It's a great racing town, Jim. Besides the Speedway, a 2.5-mile great racing plant, is this 1-mile fairground and the
yellow flag is
out.
The yellow flag is out right now. I can't see what the incident was. There doesn't seem to be an accident of any kind. But the tow truck is going out on the track. Somebody must have stopped someplace. Darn if I can see them. At any rate, the yellow flag is out, and that could close things up a bit and move Mario Andretti a bit more into contention.
Apparently, the track conditions, Jim, at the moment are better for Al Unser in his number 2 car than they are for A.J. Foyt in his number 7.
Well, there's the car up against, just up snug against the inside rail, and from our position, with the naked eye, you just can't see it.
It looks like an overheating problem, Jim, and the driver's removing his helmet. They'll take the car off the track and...
Already right on the tail of A.J. Foyt. But Mario Andretti in 4th position was a good ways back, but now, you'll see, has gotten a lot closer. That's the red car, if you're watching in color, right there. Car number 1 in 4th place in the standings. It's going to be a lot closer when that green drops than he was before.
The flagman has just said one more lap. He's learning to feel that the green will come out this time round. So we'll see what kind of strategy and which cars will out-accelerate the others. Foyt certainly is no one to be fooled. Al Unser has the same kind of engine in his number 2 car that Foyt has in number 7. Right behind him is the blue car's Bob Harkey, number 52. And then there's Sam Sessions, and then Mario Andretti. Very close. It should be an exciting first turn action when this green waves. Starter Malone standing there in the blue with the flag now.
Situation very simple. What we're going to have here in a minute, it looks like, are the 3 biggest names in American racing today battling for the lead in the Hoosier 100. The green flag is out, and they'll be racing now. A.J. Foyt out in front. Andretti is moving down to the inside. Unser right behind A.J. Andretti couldn't get by 2 of the slower cars in front of him.
Andretti's maneuver didn't pay off. It was a bold one, and had it worked, it would have put him right up there with him, Jim, but it just wasn't enough room.
However, he is still considerably closer than he was when the yellow went out, and there he goes, blasting past 1 car, and he'll go after Sammy Sessions, who's in between him and the 2 leaders. Mario Andretti is in this race now, that's for sure.
His temperament, Jim, seems to be one with his competition. He rallies to the cause, and he sees now that he can taste victory, and he's going to be the man to watch for a while here.
Meanwhile, Al Unser is looking like he might make a move on the leader, A.J. Foyt. It's going to be a 3-car race, make no mistake about it. A.J. Foyt leading by a matter of feet over Al Unser. Then you have Sammy Sessions, and then Mario Andretti.
Down the long back straightaway here at this Indiana State Fairground.
Andretti should be able to pass Sammy Sessions, remember, the substitute driver who got into this race at the last minute because of an injury to another driver last night in a different race. And there goes Al Unser going for the lead, going into turn 1. Al Unser's got the lead for the first time today. Car number 2 is out in front of the field. He is a matter of inches ahead of A.J. A.J. not giving him any more room than he has to. A.J. chasing him on the straightaway now.
4 Indianapolis wins right there, Jim.
Tried 3 of them by A.J. Foyt and Al Unser, this year's winner of the Indianapolis 500. In a car prepared by Parnelli Jones, a former Indianapolis winner himself. Al Unser's car, as I said earlier, has been much faster than the others all year, both his dirt car and his pavement car. Let's see if it proves so today. We're in the second half of this racing here. Al moving out just a little bit. Mario Andretti still has to get by Sammy Sessions to get into the battle with Foyt and Unser.
Top 4 cars, Jim, are powered by 3 different kinds of engines. The 4-cam 255 cubic inch Fords in the first and second place cars, the 4-cylinder Oppenhauser and Sessions machine, and the stock block Gurney Eagle Ford powering Andretti's number 1.
There's see Mario still setting up to get by Sam Sessions. Meanwhile, Hunter is beginning to move it out just a little bit. Just a little bit. It could, that power of his is going to pay off again today. If anybody won't let him go, though, it's the 2 men behind him, and that's A.J. Foyt and Andretti. And Andretti is passing Sessions right now. He's got him going into turn 1. So now we have the 3-way battle that we saw coming. Al Unser, A.J. Foyt, and Mario Andretti going for the Hoosier 100.
Seems, Jim, that Andretti's number 1 car has a little more poke coming off the corners and getting on it fast down the straightaway. And this might stand him in good stead before it's all over today.
Al Unser's lead has grown to about 50 yards now over A.J. Foyt, but Andretti is closing in on A.J. There, the leader coming out of turn 4. Car number 2. And there you see number 7 in second place. And number 1 is third. That's Foyt. And Andretti. You can see how close they are now. Andretti, remember, we'll repeat again if you've just joined us, started in 14th place in this race, and now he is third. In a brand new dirt track car that's made its debut just a few weeks ago. They've been shaking the kinks out of it, and now it seems to be ready.
This black-coated dirt track, Jim, is very tough on tires. And A.J. Foyt's crew is questioning now about his right rear tire. They're wondering if the wear factor is so high that it's diminishing the speed of the car. The top 3 cars now, Ford power, the only Ford engines in the race.
And the next item of interest, it appears, might be Mario Andretti trying to get by A.J., but that's not too imminent, although he's a matter of only 20, 30 feet behind him. He does not seem to have made up too much ground in the last couple laps. Okay, there the relationship from Foyt. That was from Andretti to Foyt. There's A.J. in the car number 7, and up in front, car number 2 here, Al Unser, the leader. Coming up a little bit later, we're going to see the return to the ring of Muhammad Ali, along with a few words from the champion himself. So here's the battle for second place at the moment between 2 of the great names in racing. A.J. Foyt of Texas, Mario Andretti of Nazareth, Pennsylvania, born in Trieste, Italy. A.J., who has confined almost all of his racing to the United States, but on one occasion went to France. A.J. went to France after winning the Indianapolis 500, and just that easily, it seemed, won the 24 Hours of Le Mans to become the first and still the only man in history ever to win Indianapolis and Le Mans in the same career, and he did it in 2 weeks.
He's a tremendous driver, Jim. No one could dispute that. 60 laps into the competition, 40 laps to go.
And while these 2 battle, remember, Al Unser's up in front of them, stretching out his lead. He's got about 100 yards on them now. Great racing for second place, though. That 100 yards could disappear, of course, in one flip of the wheel. One slight loss of power on his engine. The battle for second continues, and we'll be back live in another minute on the Hoosier 100 automobile race from Indiana. And the leader is Al Unser, who has now stretched his lead to 3 seconds over A.J. Foyt. A.J. and Mario Andretti still battling for second place. Almost nose to tail.
They've been hugging the inside rail ever since the green flag wave, Jim. The track conditions today, not exactly the best. Not loose and heavy the way the drivers like it, and the way the spectators like it too, but hard and slippery. And it's like a dance floor out there for these drivers. Unser in front, if he should win, will be his 7th victory of the year. There's 13 races been held. This is the 14th, and the next one comes up a week from today at Sedalia, Missouri. And on September the 27th, the National Championship car is moved to Trenton, New Jersey for a 300-mile event.
We hope when those USAC races are in your area that you'll go out to the racetrack and see them for yourself. They're really something. Mario still sitting there. Maybe he's not quite ready to make his move on A.J. There are some of those USAC former events, by the way. Sedalia, as Chris indicated, the Trenton 300 in New Jersey, the Sacramento 100 on October 4th, the Bryan 200 in Bryan, Texas. That'll be the first USAC race at Bryan on October 18th, and the Phoenix 150, which will be presenting live once again on ABC's Wide World of Sports on November 21st. And again, a reminder that just on the West Coast, later today, you'll be seeing Stanford against Arkansas live from Little Rock as the NCAA. And here's where it is at the moment. Close look at them there. All of them coming to you live under sometimes sunny, sometimes cloudy skies in Indiana. It's a warm day, though. Very pleasant afternoon.
Said this, the track may be hard and slick, but we do not see any dust, which makes for excellent viewing on the part of the spectator. Quite a large crowd on hand today, Jim.
By the way, we probably should mention, Chris, once again, that this is a dirt track because... Again, we're back looking from overhead at the Hoosier 100 automobile race, and there's a spin out on the back. Ralph Ligori, I think.
It's Mario, Jim. Mario's left rear tire, Jim, was giving him trouble, and he suddenly slowed down entering the backstretch. He's out of it. Mechanical problem there. He's coasting slowly down the back straightaway.
Almost hitting Ralph Ligori as he spun Mario Andretti. We had just gotten a report before we came back to our live coverage that the left rear tire of Mario was starting to come apart, and I guess maybe it did.
When Mario slowed down, Jim, Ralph Ligori took advantage of that situation and passed Bob Harkey in number 52. Or rather, Sam Sessions, pardon me, number 77.
Right, it was a near thing there with Mario. As I mentioned, Ligori looked for a moment like they might both get into it, but it's the left rear tire, the one you can't see right now, that caused Mario his trouble and has put him out of the competition. It's still Al Unser, the leader, remember, with A.J. Boyd in second place.
Ralph Ligori is now third at number 58, and Sam Sessions drops to fourth place. And there's the STP crew, Vince Granatelli with the sledgehammer, trying to get that left rear wheel off and a replacement put on. So you can see the big oil coolers there on the rear roll bar as Mario watches the pit work, anxious to get back into the competition.
The green flag is still out, by the way. There's not a yellow flag on that.
See, he's giving an Italian sort of wave to have them hurry up with the work. You know, there are nasty stories told about Ferrari pit crews and Ferrari pit stops and so forth, and the Italian temperament is such that they want to get out and get back into the action.
I believe it was Pedro Rodriguez after he won a race with Porsche, and he used to drive Ferrari sports cars. Somebody said, what's the difference between them? And he said, well, he said the Porsche pit crew, each man has one job and he does it, but at Ferrari, everybody is always trying to help everybody else, which is not exactly the way to do it. 75 laps gone now, 25 left to go, and the leader, all by himself, is Al Unser, as he has been so much of this USAC racing season.
Bruce Walkup and car number 98 has moved into 5th position now.
And there you see Mario Andretti still in the pits. Looking back. Nothing is frustrating to a race driver as when the horse or the machine simply won't go.
It has not been Mario's year, Jim.
No, it certainly hasn't. Just when he got this new dirt track car going, then the tire gave way. Still waiting, and shaking his head. A long, tough afternoon for the man from Nazareth, Pennsylvania.
With 25 laps to go, Unser leads Foyt at number 7, Ligori at number 58, Sessions at 77 is 4th, Walkup number 98 is 5th, Mosley at number 9 is next, followed by Cagle at 12 and Weld at 41.
There's Mario going back out of the track, and we have a report that AJ is beginning to sneak looks at his right rear tire as he goes around. So you mentioned earlier, Chris, that this could be pretty tough on tires, and it looks like it may be. Al Unser, however, at the moment at least, doesn't seem to be having it.
This type of hard-packed dirt, Jim, is harder on tires than asphalt, believe it or not.
See if he can get any look at the right rear of AJ. There, he's took another look. See? Look, see him looking back? He knows he's got a problem back there, all right.
Well, he's lost a lot of ground to Al Unser. AJ has lost considerable ground to Unser.
And Mario Andretti lost 4 laps while he was in the pits. So Mario is way out of it now.
It was not one of the best pit stops we've seen, Jim.
Mario didn't seem to think so, the way he was wagging his head down there. There's Al Unser. No looking back at his tires for him, at least not so far.
We can't see the board that George Bignotti is giving him, but we'll bet it's take it easy.
You would certainly think so. If Boyd and Andretti have trouble, these tires all basically the same well-engineered tires that they use. It could be that Al Unser might have trouble. We'll see when we come in big problems and could come apart at any moment. Now, here you're watching an expert in action. He's trying to figure out just how far he can push that tire because right behind him are Ralph Ligori, number 58, Sammy Sessions, number 77, and Bruce Walkup, number 98. They're all in the same lap, so to hold on to second place, he has to stay ahead of them. And so far, he's been able to do it. It looks like Ligori's getting a little squirrely out there, too. AJ just shook off his pit, it looked like a catcher shaking off a pitcher on the sign, Chris.
That's right. He apparently has told him that he's not going to stop. He's going to make it last. He has dropped 15 and a half seconds now behind Al Unser with 15 laps to go.
15 to go out of the 100 scheduled in the Hoosier 100. If you just joined it, it's live. It's happening right now. As you can see, a fine crowd came out today in Indiana. Al Unser is the leader. He's way out in front all by himself, driving uneventfully, and that's why we're giving you a look most of the time at A.J. Foyt trying to hold on to his second place. There's the leader, though, Al Unser, looking for his 7th win of the season, including the Indianapolis 500. In fact, and there's a little smoke, but it seemed to settle down.
Bentley Warren about to be lapped by Al Unser, number 94, the Vantis Enterprises car. It's been smoking for several laps. Watch Al now, give him a wide berth, because when this happens, you never know when the engine is going to blow, and Al doesn't want to get caught in an oil slick or by any flying.
3 races on the USAC Trail are held here in Indianapolis every year. The Indianapolis 500 on the pavement, of course, in the old so-called brickyard, asphalt, 2.5 miles. A race here on a mild dirt track, and then there's a race on a road course at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Nobody has ever won all 3 of those races in one season. Al Unser, however, has won the 500. He won the road race at Indianapolis Raceway Park, and now it looks very much as if he's going to do this one to complete his sweep of the City Series, as they sometimes call it.
If we had subways here, it would be known as the Subway Series.
Right. AJ still holding on for second place over the veteran Ralph Ligori. Bruce Walkup has moved ahead of Sam Sessions into 4th place. 4 cars there, as you see, battling for second place money. And look at Ralph Ligori giving chase to AJ right now. Hey, that must be a kick for him, even though AJ's got a bad tire. Anytime old Ralph can get out there and try to pass AJ, he's having a nice afternoon.
Ligori's tires may be in the same shape that AJ's are, Jim. It's a tough track on tires today.
They could well be, because I've noticed, and I think I mentioned that Ralph has been slipping and sliding around quite a bit.
You know, it's interesting. These cars do not have mirrors, Jim, as road racing cars do. So the first indication that a driver has that he's about to be passed is when he sees the nose of the car alongside, either on the inside or the outside. And that's where the strategy comes in here.
Again, as we said, on the part of A.J. Foyt, this is real virtuoso driving. He's got nothing going for him except his own driving skill. With a right rear tire that caused his pit crew to tell him to come in, he's still driving. He shook him off and said, "No thanks, I'll try to stick it out." And he's still holding on to second place. Woo. Boy, you saw him wiggling and wobbling coming down there. Boy, is number 58, remember. This is one of the best afternoons, in fact, that Ralph has ever had. There you see him, right with A.J. Foyt. 90 laps. There are 10 laps left in the race, and it looks like Al Unser is going to breeze to victory the way he has so many times this year. And will A.J. hold on for a second? Look out! Whoa. Ligori moving down to the inside. He's going to try to take A.J., but he can't. A.J.'s still holding him off.
No one can say that Ligori has given up on A.J. Foyt.
No, and nobody can say that he doesn't have any nerves. Sitting back where he is, if that right rear goes on A.J.'s car, there could be trouble for him, too. Ralph Ligori of Tampa, Florida, father of 4 sons.
Ralph's a former diving champion of Manhattan, Jim. He's quite an athlete.
44 years old, and they call him affectionately Ralphie the Racer on the circuit. He's sure racing today.
Will Cagle has been in and out of the pits. Young fellow making his start at USAC racing this season. Another Tampa, Florida driver.
And now another car may yet get into this battle for a second. Bruce Walkup, who had been trailing Sammy Sessions. We told you past Sessions, and he's now getting pretty close to Ralph Liguori and A.J. Foyt, and now Liguori's making another move on A.J.
A.J. is using a lot of racetrack, Jim, as you can see by that wide shot our cameraman is giving us. He's going wide and cutting back down. It's great competition here. Now, Ralph's car doesn't have the poke coming out of the corner that it needs to get by.
Soon we'll be watching for that white flag to be given to the leader. That means only one lap to go. Right now, however, we're going to go away and return for that in another minute. There are only 6 laps left in the Hoosier 100 at Indianapolis, Indiana, and soon there will be 5. You're looking at the battle for second place between A.J. Foyt and Ralph Liguori. The leader is Al Unser, of course, all by himself way up front. A.J. with a very bad right rear tire, trying to make it hold on and hold out until the finish of the race. 5 laps to go now. 5 laps for the leader. Watch A.J. Foyt, one of the great drivers of all time, as he manipulates the wheel. He does not use power steering. Many of the cars in this race, somewhat surprisingly to the layman, do use power steering. There's A.J. across the finish line. He has 5 laps to go now. It's A.J. followed by Liguori, followed by number 98, Bruce Walkup, and then number 77, Sam Sessions.
Jim McElreath, Jim, the winner of the California 500 in Ontario on Sunday of this week, is in number 14, is way in the back and just cruising around, but he's made his bundle for the year, believe me.
He sure has.
$150,000 his victory was worth last Sunday.
And now the leader has less than 4 laps to go. Less than 4. And these two must get to the finish line before they have 4. Foyt, number 7, Liguori, number 58. Really treating the fans out here this afternoon, particularly with those other cars right behind him. Bruce Walkup, number 98.
Mike Mosley, Jim, and number 9 has moved into contention. He almost missed the race. The A.J. Watson, crew chief on that G.C. Murphy special, made a 50-minute engine change, and now Mosley's going down the backstretch to mix it with those boys. We're going to have some finish for second, third, and fourth in this Hoosier 100.
Right, we have 5 cars battling for second, third, fourth, fifth, and 6th positions, and only a couple of laps to go. It'll be 3 laps for them now. And soon it'll only be 2 laps for the leader. It's not for first place, but it sure is automobile racing, and that's why we came. Look at those cars strung out so close together. Al Unser now has 2 laps to go.
And there goes Liguori trying again to get by Foyt, and it looks as though he may have him there.
He finally did it. Ralph Liguori, in the great moment of his racing career, I'm sure, has passed A.J. Foyt to move into second place in the Hoosier 100. Oh, he's a very likable fellow, Ralph.
The crowd is giving him a big round, Jim, here.
He gives Spencer the most. He's really going to be happy when this is over, if he can hold on. Waiting for the white flag now for the leader as Ralph Liguori has taken over second place. The 44-year-old racer from Tampa, Florida, originally from New York. And there's the white flag for the leader. Unser has 1 lap to go. There he is, Al Unser, on his final lap of the afternoon, headed for his 7th victory of the USAC season. He has just about got the national championship on a point basis all wrapped up. He has, of course, already won the Indianapolis 500 in the car prepared by Parnelli Jones, himself a former Indy winner. White flag being given to the other cars, but the checker will be out for this man in a matter of seconds now. Al Unser of Albuquerque, New Mexico. His brother Bobby, another Indianapolis 500 winner, was not able to make the field today, although he was here. Bruce Walkup has dropped back in that other battle. But now here is the checkered flag. It's all over for first place. Battle for second. Ralph Liguori still out in front of A.J. Foyt as they'll be racing to the wire. It looks like Ralph's going to be able to hold on.
Mosley is challenging Sessions for a position in the back there.
And the checkered flag goes out again. It's Ralph Liguori second, A.J. Foyt third, Sammy Sessions fourth, and Mike Mosley fifth. That's the way it ended up in the Hoosier 100.
It was a 23-second advantage held by Al Unser in victory.
And we'll be back in another minute. Ralph Liguori in the finest championship car race of his career. And remember, he's 44 years old and has been on the championship trail 13 years. McGrory finished second. A.J. Foyt was third, but there is the winner, Al Unser, for the 7th time this year, being greeted by Chief Mechanic George Bignati and the rest of his crew. That is Jim Wilson, who's working with us in the pits this afternoon. We haven't had an opportunity to go to him before. Jim trying to get a good position for an interview. Jim, are you set up down there?
We're all set down here. We're going to give Al Unser a chance to get his helmet off here so he can hear us and get squared away. Al, another fine driving job.
Thank you very much, Jim. This is one that I've always wanted to win, and thanks to George Bignati and my whole crew, and Johnny and Jimmy, and of course Firestone. I think that they had a great part in it. They gave me a good tire today, and of course Johnny Lightning. It still shows that Johnny Lightning's still the quickest so far.
Well, you didn't start out this morning the quickest. You had some problems before you qualified. Did it look like you were out?
Well, we fouled the plugs when I was pulling away from the line, and that kind of put us last, and I was a little bit worried whether I was going to make the show or not.
Well, you made the show with no problem whatsoever. Al Unser, thank you, and now back up to Jim McKay.